Bear Independent Brief, 26 September 25. The Trump admin made waves when it dropped a financial bomb on companies hiring foreign workers, announcing a $100,000 fee on new H-1B visa petitions that went into effect September 21st, 4 or 5 days ago, 2025. This fee represents a staggering increase from the previous cost of $2,000 to $5,000 per person, or per petition rather, depending on the company's size. The move sent shockwaves through major tech companies and created immediate chaos for thousands of foreign workers and their families. Quote, in the immediate aftermath of the fee announcement, families were left behind as H-1B visa holders scrambled to reach the United States before the fee went into effect, fearing they would be locked out of the country, end quote, media reported. Air quote, media reported. By the way, good morning and welcome to everybody who's been here for the last 7 years and everybody who just joined. It's analyst comment. It's super interesting to me that Google admitted to Congress, oh yeah, we've been systematically stifling the voice of conservative commentators for the last 5 years, but we promise not to do it again. And our channel, which has been stagnant for 18 months, I have the metrics, dead flat, plus or minus 100 subscribers, has grown about 1,800 people in the last 10 days. So welcome to all the noobs, and to everybody over here on X as well. The initial announcement would mean that major corporations are facing substantial financial backlash from this policy change. Amazon, the biggest H-1B sponsor for fiscal year 25 with over 10,000 visa holders, would be facing potential costs of about $1 billion for new hires. Other household names like Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Google, and JP Morgan Chase would see their hiring costs explode. Then there are economists warning about a potential brain drain of qualified workers moving to other countries and slower economic growth overall. What other countries? Oh, they're going to go to India. India can barely self-support right now. They're going to go to China. Oh, so they can get welded into their apartments? I know, they'll go to France. Sure. Okay. I mean, it's not that it's not a potential threat, but what's the veracity of that threat? Meh, in my opinion. Meh. This is a technical term. Meh. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick had initially announced the fee would be paid annually and apply to both new visas and renewals, which is what sparked the panic among current H-1B workers worried they would be forced to pay to return. The next day, the White House clarified that the fee applies only to new applicants. However, it should be noted that the impacts of this aspect alone are still significant. In addition to this change in immigration policy, Washington is now facing another drama in the coming potential government shutdown, yet again, with Congress needing to pass a spending bill by Tuesday. Comment. These assholes see this coming every time, and they wait till the last moment in order to get people spun up in a tizzy about a potential government shutdown so that they can then ram through what is called pork, trillions of dollars of special interest funding that has nothing to do with the success of the company and has and has lots to do with the success of their portfolios and their campaigns. I've seen this trick dozens of times, and it's old, and they need to stop it. In fact, there should be, in construction, you have this thing called liquidated damages. If you don't get the job done by a certain time, the contractor owns the owner of the project money. Right? Let's say I have to be done by today on this big job. Okay? And if I'm not done by today, every day that we go past today, I owe you $200,000. That money comes out of my pocket back to you. It's called liquidated damages. Congress should have a liquidated damages stipulation. Your budget must be in effect by 30 days prior to the expiry date of the previous budget, or you owe us. You go unpaid and you suffer liquidated damages to the tune of $10,000 per member of Congress per day. Just a suggestion. Trump canceled a planned meeting with Democratic leaders, adopting what's been described as a, quote, go-it-alone approach at the dawn of his second term, freezing out Democrats and never once inviting their leaders to the White House for negotiations, end quote. Well, maybe if they'd stop trying to kill him, he might be more interested to bring him over for a cup of tea. Because Republicans hold only a narrow Senate majority, any spending bill requires at least some Democratic support to reach the necessary 60 votes. Brief reminder, by and large, all of these people, regardless of whether they have a D or an R on their chest, are all scumbags, and they're two separate wings of the same shitty bird. So be careful of getting locked into partisan politics, especially as the political climate continues to fracture in the United States of America due to domestic civil unrest and violence. And political violence. The compare-contrast, Democrats versus Republicans. I prefer Republicans to Democrats. However, one has to zoom back out and look at, do what Messiah said, know them by their fruits. The vast majority of all of these people are scumbags. Okay? It's where on the spectrum they engage in their scumbaggery. This time, Democrats are demanding over $1 trillion in continued Obamacare subsidies and reversal of cuts to Medicaid and other health programs that Republicans implemented over the summer. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer criticized Trump's approach, stating, quote, the way this country works, you've got to sit down with people you may not agree with and come to an agreement, come to a negotiation. Donald Trump is not a king. Is this the same Chuck Schumer that said that if you mess with the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday to get back at you, implying that the IC could potentially kill Trump? I wonder why Trump hasn't invited Schumer over for tea. We have some bonus intel as well, and, don't know what happened there, but computer decided, no, I don't want you to change tabs, so we're going to stop the recording. So, continuing from Defense One. Breaking, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has just ordered hundreds of U.S. military generals and admirals to gather on short notice next Tuesday at the Marine Corps base in Quantico, Virginia. The Washington Post reported yesterday. No reason was given for the rare and urgent meeting, which is scheduled as the government shutdown looms. Gosh, more coffee is indicated. The order applies to all senior officers with the rank of brigadier general or above, or their Navy equivalent serving in command positions and their top enlisted advisors. The meeting appears to be unprecedented. Quote, all of it is weird, end quote, one U.S. official said and asked, quote, are we taking every general and flag officer out of the Pacific right now, end quote? That's an interesting observation. So I'm sure you're tracking on this already. If you're not tracking on this already, it is weird. I do believe it's unprecedented. And what does it mean? What's the significance? I don't know. But I would also add that at least currently, I believe the UN General Assembly is still in New York. I don't know that I love all of our top-ranking brass in Virginia and most of the world's leaders in New York all at the same time. Why, hello? I was just intruded upon by a baby. Why, hello? You want to say hi real quick? Real quick? You come say hi? You just wake up? Yeah? Come here. Whoa. Say hi. Look, that's you right there. Yeah. Did you just wake up from bed? Yeah. Can I do my show now? Yeah. Okay. Bear? No, we're not going to watch bears here right now. All right. Bear Independent Bonus Intel. I just wanted to update y'all on my submission on the fingerprint background check issues in Georgia. It is only on non-criminal justice submissions. The jails were working fine, apparently. However, the employment backgrounds for public safety, new hires, and new firearms permits and other required fingerprint-based background checks have been piling up for 3 weeks now. I learned after higher-ups got involved that the state notified the fingerprint vendor the night before they changed the software. That broke everything. The vendor has told us that they are working to fix, but as of today, it's still being worked on. Y'all can use this intel if you want to disregard it. It still feels more than just a software update. I was told by people in the know that it's not a software update, and that it's not just your area that's affected, that this was a cyber attack, ongoing cyber attack. I've also been told by people in the know that there have been ongoing infrastructural cyber attacks for the last 3 weeks in the United States of America, fairly severe, and nobody's talking about it because it's targeting systems that nobody wants to talk about. Boop, 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 boop. It still feels like more than just a software update, especially with it being this long and the experts still not having the answer. But what do I know? I just call it like I see it. It may just be terrible communication from the government. That never happens. Infrastructure is fragile, y'all. Either way, thank you and shalom. Next, I work for the New York State Department of Health IT as a contractor and was there for 2 years prior to COVID and a year after, 2 weeks to stop the spread. I can assure you that state employees and IT people are that incompetent and bring an entire critical system down for a couple of weeks and not have a backup plan to return the system to function quickly following an upgrade. The stupid stuff our government employees are forced to do and often choose to do might blow your mind. Now, I agree with that. Do not attribute to malice what can be ascribed to incompetence is a common phrase. Yes, child. Why? Why are you like this? You're so like your mommy. Are you like your mommy? Hold on. Bear. Bear? Okay, there's your bears. Next, to not waste your time, I'm an American Manor student in Taiwan. I've learned some things about the Taiwanese military in my time here. Well, one of my close friends, who's pretty high-ranking in the Taiwanese Armed Forces, has told me that they have personally seen their superiors meeting with Americans. They're unsure if they're special forces, but they most likely are. That whole island is crawling with Americans in and out of uniform for military purposes. They're also getting help, he couldn't specify exactly who, from multiple foreign nations to train their spies. I also have many classmates and friends who have recently ended or are currently serving as required by the government here. And that is the bonus intel for today. If you'd like to submit intel for consideration, intel@bearindependent.com. Intel@bearindependent.com. This show is brought to you by the wonderful people on Patreon, this sleepy baby who just woke up, and refugemedical.com. Stop pressing buttons. I don't know what you did. Oh my gosh. If you need anything first aid related, you can call the store, visit the website, shoot us an email, or use the chat function that goes to a real person, refugemedical.com. Made in America, guaranteed forever. 157 lives saved to date. What we sell is peace of mind. Not just kits, but also the training to go with it. If you continue to press these buttons, that thing will stop working. That's how that works. Oh, what's the matter? You can't hear it? No. Well, that's because I have the volume turned down because we're talking to the internet right now. Okay? Okay. I'm going to hit the button, then we'll be done. Then I can hit this other button, and then you can hear it. Anyway, happy Friday. See y'all when I see you. I'm going to say bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
What?
Everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Everyone, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
You say see you later?
Is that?
That's a bird. No, that's a tiger. Bye.
Paradise.
Yeah. Okay.